I am going to ask something, say a question, and you are going to write, you are going to give me the reply in the chat box. 2 questions for you taken from exercise. Okay, think before you answer. You have to state true or false. Okay, so the first question is to you is that in any vector space, Ax is equal to Bx, where x is a vector, A, B are scalars, implies A equals to B. Is it true or false? Write in the chat box. Is it true?
Yep.
Anybody else?
True, love.
The answer is no.
False.
It is false. It is false. Can you say why?
Yeah.
Ayush, can you say why? Suppose you are considering a matrix. Set of all matrices is a vector space, you know. So you can consider a matrix 2 cross 2. So if we multiply this matrix by scalar A, okay, so what do we get actually by the scalar multiplication? A0, A0, A0 and A0. That means 0, 0, 0, 0. And that also can be written as, because A and B, here A and B are two different numbers. So this is a counter example which I am giving to you. Because this is a counter example, and therefore I am giving it to you, that you can consider in place of A, you can consider 1, and in place of B, you can consider 2. So you can multiply this particular matrix from the left hand side by 1 and 2. The answer will be same, which is 0, 0, but the scalar 1 and 2 are not same. Okay, and another question, I am taking it from exercise, and I shall not be able to show you every problem, but why am I discussing these two problems? Because of some reason actually. I'll tell you that. Where A is a scalar quantity and X and Y are vectors quantities. So can we now write that X equal to Y? True or false? What will be your reply? So everybody is saying that it is true. Try to think. Yeah, you are saying that it is true. Acha, okay. I have got one answer. Let me see his name. Anurag. Anurag is writing something. Anurag, can we explain why have you written? Can you explain in the, can you unmute yourself and explain? Why have you written that it's false? Because your answer is different from other people's answer. Explain it to you. Suppose he is saying that Anurag is saying that you can consider two vectors. You can consider, say, for let us take the example of the matrix itself. You will understand. Suppose I am taking a matrix. I am taking a matrix in the manner A11, A12, A21, A22. Okay, and another matrix B11, B12, and B21 and B22. So here Aij is not equal to 0, and Bij, I am taking, for the sake of generality, I am taking Bij not equal to 0. So these are the elements, these two are elements. This matrix is an element of M2 cross 2, and this matrix is also element of M2 cross 2. Okay, but M2 cross 2, this I can consider this matrix to be the matrix on the field of real numbers. Okay, you can consider, you can treat all Aij's and Bij's, you can consider all Aij's and Bij's belonging to the set of real numbers. Okay, and then if you select the element 0, which is scalar quantity here, remember this is a scalar quantity, if you select this element 0 from the set of real numbers, then if we multiply by this scalar, if we multiply by this 0, what will happen? We'll get the 0 vector on both sides. 0 vectors on both sides. The outcome will be same. But you see, these two vectors, this vector and that vector, they are different from one another. They are different. So the answer is false. So it is not true. So yeah, exactly, Anurag, I got my point. So what you have written in the chat box, I have explained it in the whiteboard. So you see, students, I want to say to you to okay, let me talk about something else. First of all, why am I showing this particular problem? Because of two reasons. One reason is that the cancellation property like this, a plus x equal to b plus x, this type of cancellation property or is actually holding with respect to addition. The cancellation property is not holding. Cancellation like properties are not holding with respect to multiplication, scalar multiplication. This is the main important point. They are not actually holding for scalar multiplication. Okay, so this is the important point I wanted to discuss with you. And another important point, students, I must say that I don't want to discourage any people that you have wonderfully written you have actually communicated with me through the chat box. Probably your answer is wrong, but that is not the issue. You are not sitting in an examination hall that your answer is wrong, and because of your you think that you are not actually getting the points. Not like this. Before you do something with this particular subject matter, vector space is very abstract. Okay, so think before you answer. Even I can do the mistakes also. I on my part, from my part can do the mistakes also. Okay, sometimes when you probably have seen in the YouTube videos that sometimes I miss relevant points to be discussed. Okay, so therefore in the sequence problem in the vector space which I did with the class, there was a bit mistake in the understanding, or I couldn't make you understand the thing which I was understanding. So I had to clarify the doubts by taking another class with CSE section here, whose videos have been uploaded last night. So these particular topics in mathematics like linear algebra and this topic like real analysis and abstract algebra, these topics, they are actually very misleading. I mean, you have to be very careful before you give your verdict about something. Okay, and if you ask me, sir, why are you taking so much time in describing these things? Is this important for us or not? Is this thing, especially linear algebra, is it important? I mean, I am discussing the vector space. Is it indeed important for us? So I must say that it is important. And if you ask me where is it applied, I will say that it is applied. Probably you have heard this word. It is applied in deep learning. Or in neural network. Deep learning or neural network. I don't know whether you have this in your course curriculum or not. So if you are going to study these things, if you are going to study these things in the course curriculum of BTech, then you are going to see that the application of linear algebra over there. So that's why this particular thing is this understanding of these things are very important. Okay, so with this I'm going to end my today's session because it is already 4:03, and I hope that and you have understood the point. Tomorrow I'm going to proceed further with new topics on vector spaces. We have discussed so much about the properties of vector spaces because I took a sufficient amount of time to make you understand the mathematics of vector space because you are not familiar with this type of mathematics. You have not done so earlier. Mathematics where actually there are three ways by which you can do mathematics. That when you were in school, there was the mathematics topics were introduced to you, and the textbook was there, and you were asked to solve as many problems as you can from the textbook. And when you set for the competitive examination, then you actually did a different kind of mathematics. You always looked for tricks so that you can do as many problems within a short span of time. But now, right now, you are doing a mathematics whose the way of approach in this mathematics is not same as the way of approaches applied previously. This is analytical mathematics. Analytical mathematics which will be used in core engineering of computer science like deep learning and neural network. So you have to be very, very, very careful while doing this mathematics. It is my suggestion, it is my humble suggestion to all the students, all the participants of my class, all the participants who are learning linear algebra. So learn carefully. That is the main important thing. And whenever you're, I have my own time limits, I have my own duration of courses. So I may miss some points. So if you do not raise questions, if you do not communicate with me, you can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you can write in the chat box. If you do not raise questions, then I shall not be able to know what I'm missing, what part has been missed in the discussion. The last night's session with the CSE section A, that session has only been taken because of a particular student, because he raised question. Today morning, a student has actually WhatsApped me. He raised a question. Now I can see that one student, Aditi, she has written something in the chat box. Another student is replying to her question, and that is called group study. And that has been actually was the subject matter of induction program. So do not think yourself as competitors. Nowadays, these things are not there. I want to compete with you. Group work is there. So you try to build a situation around you where you can do lots of group works. One particular student is not able to solve a particular problem, other student must help him. Okay, so you do not think yourself as competitors, collaborators. Collaboration is very important nowadays. Collaborative in research work also, collaborative works are being done. Okay, in previously in theoretical research paper, only one or two or three, max to max three authors were there. Nowadays in theoretical research paper, on there are 9 to 10 authors. Why is it so? Because these branches have actually been divided into so many branches. So many. If you ask me why, what is deep learning, I don't know what is deep learning. Neural network. Yesterday, one of the colleagues of one of our colleagues from CSE department, you will get to know him. His name is Rahul sir. He actually told me, sir, come, I want to discuss something about neural network, and the faculties are going to have some sessions on the coming month on this neural network and deep learning. I will get to know what are these things, because these are not my subject matters. But from Rahul sir itself, I got to know that he showed me that, yeah, linear algebra, the things which you knew, they are actually applicable over here, deep learning and neural networks. So he wanted some information from me. He wanted some sort of mathematical information from me, and he actually exchanged his knowledge on deep learning and neural network with me. So I exchanged my mathematical knowledge with him. He exchanged his deep learning and neural network knowledge with me. So this is the exchange policy. Okay, so right now it is very important, because in the Newtonian days, only basic physics were there, or mathematics was divided into actually mainly concentrated on number theory. Nowadays, the mathematics branch and this physics branch and engineering branch has been divided into so many parts, but every part has become specialized on its own. You will not be able to get to know everything, but therefore you will not be able to get time to learn everything. You have to select your own subjects. So suppose one of your friend is very much capable of doing, is a very strong in linear algebra, and you are very strong in neural network, then you can communicate with one another. So nowadays, for the outcome-based education, probably you have attended the session by Kaustav sir from mathematics department. He talked about the outcome-based education system. So in our outcome-based education system, the collaborative work is mandatory. Collaboration is mandatory. So CSE B students, I have come to know that they are also having sort of group discussion with among them. It is a good practice. I'm happy to know that. So try to raise question, try to ask me questions. Maybe I'm not able to give you the answer right now, but maybe next day I'll be able to do so. Maybe I'm missing some point, but you are pointing it out. Sir, you are missing this point. In this particular session, in the first session, one student identified it, wrote in the chat box, sir, in place of V, you have written W. And this thing is actually studying. I am writing things on the whiteboard and you are copying it blindly. That is not the communication actually. So okay, students, hope you have, I am able to communicate the things with you properly, and this is the you try to solve as many problems as you can from the first exercise of Friedberg, and tomorrow I'm going to show you some other topics. Okay, because at the same time we have to proceed with the syllabus. Okay, because the time frame is short. So this much for today. Hope to see you soon. Tomorrow we are going to meet. Oh, which slide you want to see? Previous slide. Okay. So hope to meet you soon. And you take who is written in the chat box. Ayush Pandey, you click picture, because I'm going to end the session. You click a picture of this particular page. Okay, and now I'm leaving. You want to ask me anything, you can ask, or otherwise I'm leaving the classroom. At least indicate in the chat box. Slide of BS2. Slide of BS2. VS2? Which one? Which slide you are talking about? So Sanjeev Pratap CSAB, in case x equal to y equal to unit vector. Yeah, when x and y are unit vectors, then maybe these are true. But that has to be true for each and every vector. If there is only one counter example, then that will be that the system will collapse. A set is a vector space only if all the properties from VS1 and VS1 to VS8 is satisfied. You may cite one example where things are actually getting satisfied, but you will not say that it is true for everything, because there are some counter examples for which it is not getting satisfied. That is the reply to the question raised by Sanjeev Pratap, but I am still not getting the point of Ayush. He's saying slide of VS2. What is that? What slide of VS2 you want?